Does chronic insomnia age your brain faster? Many people have had nights like this. It's 2 or 3 in the morning. The city is quiet, but your mind won't stop. You turn from side to side. The more you try to sleep, the more awake you become. Most people think this is just insomnia, but very often insomnia is only the surface. What's really exhausted is the nervous system. Many people believe anxiety is just a personality issue. They say things like, "You're overthinking. Just relax. Everyone has stress. Why can't you handle it?" These words may sound ordinary, but for someone who has actually experienced anxiety, they can feel like a knife. Because only those who have been through it understand that the feeling is not thinking too much. It feels like your body suddenly stops being under your control. What many people don't realize is this: anxiety is often not just a psychological issue. Very often, the nervous system is simply exhausted. I want to share a story, a real story from someone close to me. A friend of mine. Let's call him Andy. Over the past few years, we've been helping him slowly restore his health by working on both his body and his nervous system. 3 years ago, Andy lived a pretty normal life. Busy job, some pressure, occasional late nights. Sometimes he didn't sleep well, but he thought that was normal. After all, in today's world, who isn't stressed? Until one night. Around 3 in the morning, he suddenly woke up. His heart was racing. It felt like a heavy weight was pressing on his chest. He sat up, trying to take deep breaths, but the more he tried, the more panicked he felt. At that moment, he genuinely thought something terrible was happening to him. About 10 minutes later, the symptoms suddenly disappeared. The next day, he went to the hospital. Heart test, normal. Blood pressure, normal. All the medical results came back normal. The doctor simply said, "Your body looks fine, it might be anxiety." Andy felt confused. Anxiety? Nothing major had happened in his life, so why was his body reacting this way? Over the next few months, things slowly changed. Andy became more sensitive to stress. Sometimes, while sitting at work, his heart would suddenly start racing. Sometimes, when lying in bed, his mind wouldn't stop running. Sometimes, even a small physical sensation would make him worry something was seriously wrong. He began doubting himself. Was I just too weak? Was my mental strength not strong enough? Many people think this way, because since childhood we've been taught, be strong, think positively, don't be too sensitive. But over time, we realized something important. Anxiety rarely appears out of nowhere. More often, it's something that slowly builds up. The human nervous system is actually incredibly resilient. If you experience stress today, your nervous system might take a small hit. But after a good night of sleep, the body usually repairs itself, just like a small cut on your skin. The next day, it begins to heal. So, occasional anxiety is not the real problem. The real question is this: what if you are exhausting your system every single day, sleeping poorly, constant stress, always feeling tense, your nervous system recovers to 50% today, but tomorrow, stress pushes it back to 0 again. Over time, something happens. The damage starts happening faster than the repair. The nervous system isn't refusing to recover, it simply doesn't have enough time to. Andy tried what many people try. He pushed through it. He told himself, just hold on, it will pass. But anxiety isn't something you can solve with willpower alone, because what you are fighting is not just your thoughts, it's your nervous system. The nervous system has 2 basic modes. One is safety mode, the other is fight or flight mode. When we face danger, the body activates fight or flight. Your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallow, your muscles tighten. This is a survival mechanism built through evolution. But here's the problem. If this state is activated every single day, day after day, year after year, eventually the nervous system becomes overloaded. Later, Andy started experiencing panic attacks, his heart suddenly racing, breathing becoming fast, hands and feet going numb, his body shaking. Many people who experience this describe it in a very similar way. They say, "It feels like my body is sounding an alarm." In a sense, that description is actually accurate. A panic attack is often the nervous system saying, "I can't carry this anymore." During that period, we started helping Andy adjust his lifestyle. Not through willpower, but by working with the body. We focused on a few simple but powerful changes. First, rebuilding his sleep rhythm, going to bed at roughly the same time each night, avoiding screens before sleep, allowing the nervous system to gradually enter a relaxed state. Second, bringing gentle movement back into the body. Not intense workouts, just daily walking, sunlight, helping the body rediscover its natural rhythm. Third, reducing nervous system stimulation. Less caffeine, less alcohol, less late nights, less information overload. Very often, anxiety isn't caused by having too many problems. It's caused by a nervous system that never gets a chance to recover. A few months later, Andy slowly began to change. The panic attacks became less frequent. His sleep improved. One day, he told me something simple. He said, "I realized I haven't felt like something terrible was about to happen in a long time." It wasn't because he suddenly became stronger. It wasn't because he suddenly figured everything out. It was because his nervous system finally had time to repair itself. The nervous system is not healed by figuring things out. It heals when it is treated with care. At this point, many people ask an important question. Can long-term insomnia actually harm the brain? The answer is yes. When we sleep, the brain activates a system called the glymphatic system. You can think of it as the brain's cleaning system. During the day, our brain produces metabolic waste while processing information. During deep sleep, this waste is gradually cleared away. But if we constantly lack sleep, those waste products may begin to accumulate. Over time, this can affect memory, emotional balance, and cognitive function. Some studies even suggest that chronic sleep deprivation may increase the risk of cognitive decline later in life, which means, in many ways, good sleep is one of the most important protections for the brain. If you struggle with sleep, sometimes gentle practices can help. For example, simple food therapy, a calming soup made with lotus seeds and goji berries, slowly simmered for about 20 minutes. For many people, warm, nourishing foods can help the body relax before sleep. Of course, food is not magic, but sometimes it's a reminder. Your body deserves care. Give your body some time. Give your body some warmth. Sometimes you can even try speaking to your body, your heart, your brain, your nervous system. They are your lifelong companions. And when the nervous system slowly recovers, many of the symptoms that once felt overwhelming begin to fade, just like the ocean becomes calm again after a storm. One day, you may suddenly realize something. Being able to sleep peacefully is actually a very quiet kind of happiness. In many ways, life's happiness is quite simple. Sleep well, eat well, live gently. Hi, I'm Serena. It's nice to meet you, even through a screen. If you've been struggling with anxiety or chronic insomnia, I hope we can slowly work toward healing together. And if this video helped you even a little, feel free to like the video or share in the comments. How have you been sleeping lately? Sometimes your story might help someone else feel a little less alone.